Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the previous video I talked to you guys about violation part 1. So this is part 2. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it all in this video, but I'll try my best. Okay, so once again, disclaimer, children, get them out the room. I'm not going to be super explicit. I'm going to try my best to keep it PG, but it's still a topic that's not really appropriate for children. Okay, so just want to say that. And also, just understand that I'm doing these to bring awareness, to help someone that may need to hear this. And I'm just being obedient to what I'm supposed to do. However, I'm not looking for sympathy, pity, none of that. That's what counseling was for. I got that out of my system. And even then, it wasn't pity. It was just me processing and working through my emotions and my thought process. I was really not in a good place. So I just want somebody to be, aware that there's help. And they don't have to go through this by themselves, because there are so many of us out here, men and women, who have gone through this. All right? So let's continue. So the next violation happened to me when I was 9 years old. My mother died already. I was with my grandmother. My grandmother used to clean house, like I said, on the weekend. I told you guys about that, and I would go with her. But this Saturday, I didn't go. She left me at home with my uncle and my brothers. And I want to say we had cousins over, but I don't remember. But anyway, I was in the kitchen, and I had to go fix my brother some lunch. This is what I normally do. My grandmother had me cooking, cleaning, giving her medicine. Like, I was very hands-on. Like, she made me know that was my job. But my brothers, they could just sit and watch TV and do whatever they wanted to do. But I'm so appreciative of that, because it set a foundation, a work ethic in me that I have never lost to this day. So anyhow, I was in the kitchen, and he came into the kitchen, and he was talking to me about the boys, about getting them lunch. And I said, oh, okay. So I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm 9 years old, whatever. And he comes up to me, and he tells me, I want to show you something, but don't say anything. And I'm like, okay. So he takes his male member out, and he places it on my grandmother's cookbook. And he tells me to touch it. And I told him, no, I'm not touching that. And I'm looking at him like, no, I'm not doing that. That's what I told him. I'm not touching that. So he said, I want your first time to be with somebody who loves you and that you love. Your mama did it. And I was like disgusted, because she had mentioned it to me before, but now I knew who she was talking about. So he took my hand and he made me touch his member. And I was just standing there like repulsed, like, I can't believe this is my uncle doing this to me. I could not believe that. Well, then I told him, I'm going to tell grandma. And when I said that, he hurried up and just stopped. Well, don't tell grandma, she's going to be mad. I was just playing. Don't tell grandma. And so then he left, like just left me in the kitchen. And I'm sitting here like gazing at this cookbook like it's nasty now, like his member was on it. And I'm just still in shock. Needless to say, I didn't tell my grandmother, because she didn't give me that safety factor that my mom had given me. My mom ensured that if I said anything, she was going to protect me. But I didn't know what my grandmother would do in regards to her son. So I didn't say anything. So anyway, a few days later, like the next weekend, I believe it was, or something like that. I believe it's the next weekend. One of my cousins came over. They were all over there in the front room of the apartment, of my grandmother's apartment. And he was playing music. We was like dancing, and he had us sitting on his lap. I sat on his lap, and I was uncomfortable because I remember the member situation. So I heard him got up, and I was like, why am I sitting on his lap? Like, why? I've already been exposed to these things, so I wasn't naive anymore. I knew, what that member do. So I got up, and my cousin, he made her sit on his lap, and, everybody was just kind of like, dancing, listening to music. But I looked, because I knew I had been exposed. And I'm looking at him, and I see him put his hands between her legs. And I was disgusted. I was afraid for her, and I was so scared because I was like, oh my God, why is he doing this? Like I was so nervous. But thankfully, she had the courage to tell. And that's how that went. I did not. So my grandmother never found out. I just kept that to myself until I became an adult and I told someone else. But that was then. The next issue happened was when my grandmother passed away. She had only been dead a month. And my aunt, again, had all three of us. And so we had to go with her children's father for, I don't know if it was the night or something, but she was working, is what I remember. Well, I get over there, and he basically had us sleeping all in his bed. Once again, I wake up, and I'm the only one in the bed. And I'm thinking to myself, not again. He walked me up by axe, and I am frozen, and I'm not happy. And he tells me after the fact that I shouldn't tell anyone because my aunt would be mad at me. Like, she would be mad at him, but my aunt would actually kill me, and that she doesn't like me. And the only reason that she's going to take care of me is because she loved my mom, but she hates me. Now, I'm 10 years old. I'm believing this. And then he tells me that my grandmother and my mother died to get away from me. And it was my reality. My mom wasn't there. My grandma wasn't there. So it had to be true because they both left. And if he's telling me the truth about my mom and my grandmother, obviously he's telling me the truth about my aunt. You know, this is what my 10-year-old self is rationalizing. So I don't say anything, but I'm in pain because the last time anyone had done that to me, raped me, I was 5. And this pain was worse than that, you know, but I had to go to school. So I was trying to figure out a way to maintain myself. And I wasn't bleeding, which is a good thing. I was just in pain. So I kept it to myself, and that was the beginning. And it went on until I was 16. The problem with that, and what most people don't want to talk about, is this is why I kept it to myself, the shame that I used to feel. I kind of feel a little now just talking about it outwardly. But what people don't realize is when you are violated in that manner, as a kid, your body does things that you don't quite understand. I was 5, and it was too violent, and then it was too aggressive for me to let my body react in a different manner. Well, I'm 10, and he wasn't aggressive. He was just aggressive with his words, but he wasn't aggressive with me. And this started to be an everyday thing, and it happened every day. So eventually, I started looking forward to these moments. My body was doing what bodies do in interaction. So if you ever wonder, do people, you know, get to that point? Yes, I was 10 years old experiencing my very first orgasm. And I was disgusted about it. I was so embarrassed after it happened, but then it kept happening and it kept happening. So then I became used to it. But again, like I said, this went on for some years. Even though they had separated or whatever, he still had access to me, and I was still believing him, so I would freely go. You know, because this is what I had been conditioned to. This is what I had been used to. So that's what would happen. And then there were a couple of more after that. But because of him, because of that, I started to believe that my only purpose in life was to be a toilet, you know, for men. You know, even he would say I was beautiful. You know, after that, men would always tell me, oh, you're so pretty or you're beautiful. And I would just be like, okay, so you want to sleep with me? I didn't know what love was. I had a whole bunch of overwhelming feelings where I wanted to sleep with every single person I laid my eyes on. But the feeling that I felt after my encounter with my rapist would keep me from doing that. So I learned how to suppress that, because I really believe that if I would have acted on it, I probably would have become a sex addict. Even to this day, I still fight that same, feeling, those urges, because it makes you just want to, but God has been helping me work through a lot of that. So that's another reason why I stay in all of my relationships that I've had. Like my oldest daughter's father, I was with him like 3 years together, but messing with him for an extra 3 years, so it's like a total of 6. And then my husband, I was with him for 20 years, so we're now separated and we're going through a divorce, but it became a security blanket for me because I could not imagine like leaving a situation where there was, cheating and lies, and then have to bring myself to meet someone else new and have to, revisit all of that again. And it was just overwhelming. So I stayed in those situations. And then it also was easy for me, especially with my husband, because he didn't really require much of me at all. So it was easy for me to neglect my stuff. I didn't have to dress up. I didn't have to do all of these things. I didn't have to lose weight. He loved me as I was. Like, he didn't ask no questions. He didn't have no standards. So it was easy for me to hide behind that and mask my pain. And I remember somebody saying to me one day, I posted a picture when I was in Connecticut of my work there, and I had my little hair done. And it was like, why don't we get this, why don't we see you like this at work? And I remember telling that person, oh, because that's the key word, work. But that wasn't the truth. The truth was I was protecting myself because men always complimented me being, well endowed up here and having thick thighs or whatever. And they would say I'm pretty or I had nice hair. So to me, that would always equate to sex. So in my mind, if I wear makeup, if I do my hair, if I wear jewelry, if I wear nice clothes, I'm going to be raped again. So I started to hide behind that. And then I thought subconsciously, I just realized it when I was 33, that's another reason why I didn't take care of myself, gaining weight, because I figured if I got bigger, I would be, less attractive. And that was a lie, because of course I still got men coming at me. It didn't matter, But to me, it felt like a security blanket. And then my health forced me to start loving myself and say, wait, Toya, what are you doing? And that's when I started to evaluate, why am I doing this? Why are you gaining so much weight? Like, what's happening with you? And then I realized, oh yeah, because, you don't want nobody to hurt you. So if you're unattractive, they can't touch you. They don't want to come near you. They'll be repulsed, and they don't want what's between your legs, So those moments were things that I dealt with. And I say this to say, it doesn't matter, who did it to you. It doesn't matter if it was a friend, family member, whatever. It is not your fault. If someone violates you, do not take ownership of that. That was my problem. Like, I held it in for so many years. And it's okay if you do. It's okay if that's what you have done, I should say. But I'm speaking to you now, reasoning, hoping that someone who's going through this or have been through this and haven't let that go, you don't own that guilt. It doesn't belong with you. You're not even a victim. You're a survivor. And so take that hat and switch it, because you have to switch that in your mind. And then that keeps you in a place of where you're able to take care of yourself, where you start to love yourself and see yourself past that pain. Because there are still triggers that may happen to remind you of certain things, yes. But you're so worth fighting for yourself. So that's the reason I'm sharing this, because some people may say, girl, you sharing too much. I'm not sharing enough. I was silent for 33 years. Well, not 33 years, but I was silent the whole time. I didn't talk about this stuff, but someone needs to know. And it was at 33 years old where I decided I got to work on me. And so I'm finally at the place now in my 40s where I'm like, girl, you good. God healed you. Thank you, Lord, for that. But I can now motivate someone else and tell them that it's okay. You are not alone. Man or woman, you are not alone. So once again, my email is in the description box. You can email me if you have any questions, or you just need to, talk or whatever, I'm available. I have resources to other counselors that are available. And then there's also hotlines that, you know, I can provide to you if you need assistance where you are locally. Please share this video with others. Like and subscribe if you have not. As always, guys, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.